What is poppin'? Episode 52 or 51 if you're missing episode 51 on YouTube. YouTube can be a bitch sometimes, I know. Either way, episode 52 of Cover Your Balls. Mitch Balla alongside my co-host Sam Summers and our producer Gianni. Fellas, how are we doing on this wonderful Thursday evening in May?
Doing wonderful, Mitch. Thanks for asking. You know what? If you're watching this right now, why don't you like, subscribe, and comment on the video? Say, hi, Mom, and I'll show my mom. I'll show her the comments, and she'll be happy you said, hey, Mom. So, Gianni, how about you? What's today? Thursday?
Thursday, May 27th.
You know, we're doing good. We're doing very good. You know, we got new transitions. We got some new graphics today, so all very exciting. So, you know, we'll be able to show those off a little bit more today.
But more importantly, we got a new camera on you. You look 10 times better. Like, ladies out there now.
There is a new camera on me,
Ladies are probably like, wow, like, I don't know about this producer guy. Now we got a new camera with a ring light around it. Gianni is looking fresh in the 100 Thieves hoodie. Like, my goodness. I just hope that.
Look at that quilt.
The quote, shout out to my
Dolores.
My great aunt Joan. The great aunt Joan made that for me when I was a baby.
Great Aunt Joan.
Yeah, we're actually just in Grandma Dolores' old house while we record.
Yes.
Shout out Grandma Dodo.
Yes. Rest in peace, Grandma Dolores.
Yes. Amen. Well, guys, listen. Besides, we think we figured out the quality of the mics now. We should be trending upwards, but
it should be good.
I mean, you got to fall down a couple times before we get started, and that's what's
By
happening.
By the dip.
We were dipping, and if you guys aren't buying yet, that's your loss. You should be buying.
Yep.
Yeah, we are a cryptocurrency.
CYB.
Yep.
NFT. So that's how you know.
Not yet. We're still getting. We're waiting approval from Wall Street.
Okay.
But yeah, we did apply. But either way, guys, there's some balls to cover, some people to talk about, some non-sports related issues for sure that we just need to get to later in the show. But first,
maybe some puck.
Puck for sure. Yeah. It's not technically a ball, but here where it's our own show, we make our own rules. We're gonna call it a ball. A puck is a ball.
It moves.
Yeah. And you definitely cover your balls when you're playing hockey with a cup, or if you don't have a cup, it means you just have small balls. Yep. And speaking of small balls, we're going to tell you guys who has bigger balls by the end of the show. We're back with the Who Has Bigger Balls segment. Sam claims he has a winner already. I don't even need a contestant.
No contest. You know, if we kept stats of whose contestant wins the most, it's me. I'd have to say I probably have 7 wins under my belt, maybe 8. I guess with the number of shows, Jordan or Mitch probably beats me, but I come with quality.
You do come with quality. That's what people like, quality content. And that's why we are going to keep this episode, right around an hour. We don't want to bore anybody, but we want people to come back for more. So without further ado, speaking of more, give me more playoff basketball, Sam. The NBA playoffs right now are amazing. And I don't know if it's because the fans are back after the bubble last year. I don't know if it's because the New York Knicks are finally in the playoffs. I don't know if it's because the fans are throwing great chants, but this is the most interested I've been in the NBA at all this year. How about you?
Yeah, I always love watching NBA basketball. It's because the players actually try. They play defense. They play physical. The refs let the game play in a more fluid fashion, if you will, and it's a lot more enjoyable. The fans have a lot to do with that, but we have a couple of first-round matchups that are really, really good. I think that the NBA is a lot more even than it has been in the last, decade, 15 years. I mean, since LeBron has gotten the league, there's been a really big gap. You don't see these mid-level teams ever win an NBA championship. We saw the Raptors do it, and if Kevin Durant was healthy, if Klay Thompson was healthy, would they have done it? I don't know. But it's been a while, and, as I look at my notes, we have a lot of teams that they're not going to do it this year, but in a year or two, we'll see, and I think the NBA is in very, very good hands.
I think it is. It really is.
Yeah.
But I don't think anybody's going to take it out of someone's hands until that man is officially out of the league, because there was a lot of controversy about the 7th seed in the West.
Yeah.
We're just going to start there.
Yeah, get him out of the way. Yeah, Mitch, not to interrupt, but he did the classic game 1. You lose game 1, and the series is going to end 4-1 or 4-2.
Yep.
How hard are these guys going to play? What is their best? What do I have to do to beat these guys? Because he doesn't have to give his 100%, right? He's rocking on 80, 85, and who knows right now? After that sprained ankle, he'll never be the same. We saw him put on, as you would say, Grammy awarding performance. Grammy's music. It's actually a Tony, an Oscar, a Golden Globe, A sunset
We discussed
award
that
for
before
LeBron's.
the show, by the way, just so everybody
yes,
knows. And
yeah,
we
we had
still
a
got it
pre-show
wrong.
debate.
we don't even know. It's okay though. The people know what we're talking about. That's all that matters.
LeBron's shoulder injury, whatever. So yeah, I mean, we'll see the Lakers in the next round. I'm not all the way in on the Lakers.
Listen, I'm always all the way in on when a team LeBron James plays with. Listen, he came back from the ankle injury where he said he's not going to be the same. We saw his worst game in a long time in the playoffs, which was 22, 11, and 10. For most guys, that would be career nights in the playoffs. So if LeBron James' worst night in the playoffs going forward is going to be a triple-double still, guys, the 36, 37-year-old greatest player of all time is still the best player in the NBA. Because last time I checked, if you're like an MVP, you get your team to the playoffs. So what time does Steph play tonight?
Steph,
Yeah, because I heard this
well,
year.
you know, they were the 8th seed, so he should be playing at some point. But you know what? I
Did they
can't
get
be
first round bye. Is it the first round? The Warriors?
They had a sort of a bye. Yeah.
Oh, really? So are they in the second round?
No.
Oh, finals.
I'll say this though. I think Ja Morant is. They were out of the playoffs, correct? Yeah. They would not have made the playoffs. Since we can't have Steph Curry, I think Ja Morant is the second best option in that Grizzlies team. I think they're going to put up a better fight. I don't know if they're going to win another game.
Right.
But they would have put up a better fight than the Warriors would have.
Well, listen. We're gonna stay. We'll go west, and then we'll go east. You know,
Okay.
in case we got some fans out on the West Coast watching us right now, maybe on their lunch break, since you know the time difference, and everything. But
Yeah, they're
listen, you and I are on the same page. Lakers are going to beat the Suns. LeBron actually, in games he loses game one, has won 13 of the series. He always has said he takes game one as a lesson to learn about the other team. It doesn't help that he has the glass man and the softest man in the NBA on his team, in Anthony Davis. As we saw, I think he had I don't even know what he had. I'm not going to guess in game one. Game two, he had 34 or something like that. Played well. LeBron can make a team go, but if Anthony Davis is going to play like a little toddler on a swing set, then the Lakers aren't going to go anywhere. So Lakers game 3 tonight versus the Suns. I'm saying Lakers in 6. I do think the Suns get another one. Sam, I don't know what you have in that series, but I think we're all in agreement, Gianni included. Or Gianni, actually. I'm going to look at you. You're smiling at me. Gianni, you think the Suns are going to pull off the upset?
I think I'm smiling for all the wrong reasons, Mitch. To be completely honest with you, I know we're on a sports, podcast here. I haven't watched a lick of the NBA playoffs so far, so that's why I was smiling.
This is more just a life podcast. With the sports umbrella.
I'll watch the finals. I'll watch all that jazz. But over the weekend, the CDL matches started back up this weekend. Call of Duty League, professional Call of Duty. That's really my style. So football, video games. That's more my style. But I'll tune in for the finals.
The kids love esports.
You see what he did there, though? He threw a subliminal message at us. He's a Jazz fan because he said he's not into all that jazz. The Jazz are in the playoffs. Yep. Gianni's a Jazz fan. That's why he's not a believer in the Lakers right now. We just exposed you now. So you think the Jazz are going to move on. So speaking of that, since you're going to exempt yourself from the Lakers moving on. Gianni, your Jazz, they're now your team all of a sudden because you had to throw the subliminal message. Tied 1-1 going back to Memphis against Ja Morant. Ja Morant, who said, I believe he tweeted, they said he couldn't, so he did. And so now he's out here doing a very inspirational message. Yes. I saw that one day, got up, and I actually went and I bench pressed every weight in the gym as soon as I saw that.
I guess, which is actually way more inspirational because of what he did. But I guess before, I don't know, it might have been months ago, it could have been weeks ago. But Phil Mickelson tweeted, "It's okay to fail."
Yep.
And he comes back, wins the U.S. Open. So that was sweet. I don't know if I guess that's passed since we last recorded.
It has been.
Might as well give him a 50-year-old a nice shout out.
Shout out to the lefty, by the way. Actual lefty golfer right here. It inspired me, so now I'm actually going to go pro in golf. I'm just breaking the news now.
Yeah.
I saw Phil do it, so why not me?
Good.
I'm going to get better at golf.
Green jacket.
Yeah, thank you. I think so too.
Now, did you guys watch the end of that match?
Yes, I thought Phil was, I thought the age was catching up to Phil, and I thought, oh my God, he's going to choke this.
It was truly unbelievable. My whole family is golf people. My dad was a big golfer. Both my sisters golfed in high school, one in college. I'm getting back into golfing and golfed a lot when I was younger. So my whole family was in the back porch watching it on the TV, and just see the crowd there and everything around the fairway. Everything just kind of clicked. Everything was just
crowd too.
Everything was just so right. It just felt so good to watch him win.
Yeah. That's much like Tiger did in 2019 with the Masters.
Right. That's what people are
that
saying.
will always stand out. It's whenever you see, a guy in I guess his middle ages win anything, it's awesome.
Yeah.
You can't hate when Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl now because he's like 43 years old. I mean, he's 43. You could name a list on your hand how many 43-year-olds have won a Super Bowl. And I think it just might be one finger. I'm not too sure about that.
Maybe Adam Vinatieri. I know he just retired. So props Adam Vinatieri. I'm gonna right now a bang it or a pound it pick, which we're not betting right now, but he'll be in Canton. I think Adam Vinatieri will be in the Hall of Fame before it's all said and done.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
One of the best kickers we've ever seen. But we just got off the tracks there. We should probably shout out Phil Mickelson. Great job.
Yeah, you know what? Utah's going to take the series. Donovan Mitchell's a superstar. The reason I like the NBA playoffs so much is because now you can see, like, okay, this guy's a superstar. We're seeing that now with Donovan Mitchell. We're seeing it now with Devin Booker. We saw it a few years ago with Damian Lillard. And he continues to put on a freaking show. He's so much fun. I love Damian Lillard. He's actually like a pretty good rapper too. And of course they've got 330 boy CJ McCollum. I mean, the Blazers are my team of the West. I'll save my team of the East, for the next section. But as you know, I played on the Portland Blazers my freshman year.
Yes, you did.
If you study Jay Friend's basketball history, you probably have heard about the Portland Trail Blazers, very infamous team. We'll leave it at that. Group of characters, a group of hard workers. I'm very proud that I once donned the colors of red and black. So Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, myself, we put up a good show in Portland, and you got to root for them. I think they might take Denver. Denver's real banged up, but they're still very good. And that's just a tip of the cap to Nikola Jokic? I don't know. But awesome. Former Husky guy, now slimmed down, putting on an MVP show. He puts up, 40, 20, and 10 like it's nothing.
Yeah.
So he's a Hall of Fame big guy that you'd hear about back in the day, but we haven't had yet as NBA fans. And we're seeing a totally different era. You're just seeing history come full circle now in the NBA. Of course, it's evolving, but the NBA is a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. It's still the softest league in America, but
no doubt.
Maybe even, soccer fans are pretty, they're pretty brutal, pretty menacing over in Europe. So NBA might take the cake throughout the whole world. So
I think there's a chance it's
but
true.
Yeah, now we're just missing the Clippers and the Mavericks. I don't know if you're. Well, I think you may have been a Clippers NBA champ guy. I know Jordan was.
That'd be the furthest thing from it. But quickly on the Blazers, I just want to say you guys really set the standard for Jay Friends basketball. The Portland Trail Blazers did. So you're a Trail Blazer yourself by setting the standard in Jay Friends. So congrats to you and anybody that's ever played in Jay Friends.
Shout out to all my Blazers.
You can thank this guy right here. Blazers are going to be Denver. Listen, Dame Dalla. I watched that the other night, by the way, and they lost Game 2. The series is even at 1 apiece. Game 5 is.
The fact that they I don't know if anybody watched the game, but at one point Damian Lillard hit 7 threes in a row.
It was nuts. They were getting boat raced in the second quarter.
Yeah.
And he comes down and hits 2 threes. I'm literally getting ready to turn the game off and go to bed.
Half watching, yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, he hits 2 threes. It's okay, they're not, 6-0 run, but you don't ever put the graphic up for that.
Yeah.
Well, he comes back down and hits another one. I'm like, wow, 9 straight points. And then he pulls up from, as you'd say, Steph or Dame range as a heat check. He drains it. It's 4 straight threes. I'm like, oh
yeah,
my God.
I think he went on a 24-7
Yeah, he hit 6 straight threes and got the game within single digits. Now, Denver hit 2 big shots before going into half, but it was Dame had 32 in the first half. I literally stayed up to watch to see what they could do. And once the game was over, I said, I don't care right now. I'm going to bed. I think Portland wins this in 6. I think Denver gets one back in Portland. They play, it says Game 3 is tonight. I'm interested to watch that. Can't wait to watch that. I'm a huge Dame fan. Yeah. Dame is electric, by the way. If you were to tell me, hey, pick one guy in the NBA, MLB, NFL, each sport, Dame would be one guy I would pay money to go watch because he puts on a show.
And he's just a great role model. He's a great
he really
guy.
is. And he's a great rapper. You want to talk about guys that are just versatile? He's versatile on and off the court. Listen, I have Portland winning. Let's talk about the series that's probably the most intriguing right now. Game 3 tomorrow, Friday, May 28th, back in LA. Surely, the team that lost on purpose to avoid the Lakers in the playoffs is up 2-0 right now because that's why they lost on purpose. It was going to be a cakewalk, right?
Yeah.
Sam, can you confirm? I think I'm out of data. Still limited minutes nowadays. I'm out of minutes. Clippers are up 2-0, right?
Yeah, they are. Ty Lue's actually player coach.
Oh, nice.
Putting up MVP up numbers. Totally different universe though. We got Dallas up 2-0. I don't know. I'm not shocked.
I'm not either.
I know you're not shocked.
I've never been a believer in this team. And first, I'm going to go on a rant. I'm going to interrupt you now. Super unpopular to Cavs fans, but Cavs fans, get over yourself because we suck. Ty Lue isn't a good NBA coach.
Mm-mm.
He's not.
No.
Oh, but he won us a championship. Oh, didn't we have that 23 guy on our team, right?
Right.
The
Yeah,
same guy that's made Mike Brown Coach of the Year. Eric Spoelstra is a good coach. He's proven he can win without players. Frank Vogel, Coach of the Year last year, won a championship. I mean, he couldn't win in Indiana, or won in Indiana with Roy Hibbert. Ty Lue's not a good coach. Like, anybody that thinks Ty Lue's a good coach, you don't pay attention. You watch the game with the TV turned off, your eyes shut. You're watching with Helen Keller. I don't know. Ty Lue's not a good head coach. Kawhi Leonard is slowly losing all the steam he had last year of best player in the NBA, top 3 player in it. Well, guess what?
I mean, we had a coordination for Kawhi Leonard, and I mean, he was in conversation for like top 5 all the time after that. Top 10.
He's fallen. Patrick Beverly, not a good NBA defender. Luka Doncic is absolutely exposing him. For Pat Beverly being this phenomenal defender, Pat Beverly is the equivalent of Andre Iguodala in the NBA Finals in 15, getting MVP for holding a guy to 35, 8, and 11.
The Clippers ruined what they had by trading. First of all, with that Paul George trade, that was just dumb.
Yep.
I feel like you could have surrounded Kawhi with a lot more pieces and been a more, I guess, able team to win in the West, but their roster stinks. They don't have a good coach.
They don't.
And then Kawhi Leonard's like, I mean, I still think he's a phenomenal player, but he
Absolutely.
didn't. The Raptors had a really, really, look what the Raptors did. They had a really, really good roster around Kawhi. It was built for Kawhi, and they built that for a long, long time. Traded DeMar DeRozan, and then the Clippers, they get Kawhi Leonard, and they trade the farm for Paul George, and, you know, they have Kawhi Leonard, but no farm. And then Paul George can't, I mean, I don't know.
You let your most physical guy in Montrezl Harrell walk. He went to literally in the same arena to the other team.
Yeah.
You trade Lou Williams, who's a numerous 6 Man of the Year award winner.
Yep.
Now, although you got Rondo, I love Rajon Rondo. I've always been high on him. He always turns on the playoffs. But listen, can the Clippers absolutely come back and win this series? They can. Am I going to be shocked if they do? Maybe a little bit right now. But I'm not shocked at this at all. I've never been high on the Clippers. It doesn't make sense. Ty Lue's not a great NBA head coach. And Kawhi Leonard right now is showing you he's not a leader.
Yeah,
I get they won the finals in Toronto, but was it more so Kyle Lowry was a leader? Was it Fred VanVleet, Siakam? Like, who was the leader of that team? Because right now it's not Kawhi Leonard.
Right. No, and Kawhi's, you know, he's, you know, I don't know him personally, but he's not a leader. You know, he's just not that kind of guy. And you know, there's a notion if you're the MVP of the team, like, you have to be the leader. And it's not that, you know. That's not a knock on Kawhi Leonard. It's a knock more on the Clippers. I used to be a big Clippers guy, more of a Blake Griffin guy. But I like Dallas. I think Dallas is primed to do something. They're doing it. They have an absolute bona fide superstar in Luka Doncic. They have another. Well, I mean, they have the unicorn. They've got Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah.
If he can stay healthy, you know, he can do Kristaps Porzingis things.
Didn't even mention Boban. They got Boban.
You got Tim Hardaway Jr.
Killing it.
You've got, and that's the Mavericks talk. So they've got a few other guys, Dwight Powell. But nobody really cares about the Mavericks. They're boring. They're bland. They always will be, always have been.
They have a good coach.
They have a great coach.
Rick Carlisle is a phenomenal coach, by the way.
It's just one of those years, like we touched on with the Giants in episode 51. It's a weird year where the Giants win it. Well, maybe the Mavericks win it too. They have those weird years where they get in, and can they win?
Johnny, you have any input on the Clippers and Mavericks series? Since you are a huge basketball fan. I mean, the winner of this will play your Jazz in the next round.
Okay, well, you know,
who are you hoping for?
You know, when I was at the gym today, Fit for You Gym, shout out.
Yeah.
I saw the couple of Jazz players there. You know, I was talking to them because they're my guys. You know.
Yeah, right.
And they were like, you know, we don't care who we play. You know, we're ready for whatever. So, you know, that's just my input. You know, so you know, I'm not worried.
Must have been Little League Jazz.
Maybe the Jay Friends Jazz.
Jay Friends Jazz.
Yeah. Wow, that's look at that. They're coming to Canton now.
Didn't know they were back.
Yeah, they're back. They're back all right. All right, listen, that's the West. We're going to move on. Let's get to the East, where really there's only one intriguing series. We're going to say that for last. as we're recording episode 52 right now, the Miami Heat and Bucks are
The
playing.
Bucks are up 3-0.
They're going to be up 3-0, and that kills me because I was a huge Miami Heat fan. Listen, I called them beating the Bucks last year in the bubble. That was obvious to me. Miami's been up and down all year, guys. It's been weird. You know, they had injuries and they had COVID protocol. They had plenty of time to mesh, though. I'm not going to sit here and make excuses. Just very disappointing for Miami as they're down at half right now by, I believe, 14 points. Milwaukee looks like they're going to take control, but is this more so Miami not being good, or is this more so Giannis is finally taking control? This is a team last year that embarrassed Giannis. They shut him down, and Giannis in game one, which I thought was the biggest thing, didn't even touch the ball on the last possession when they won the game. Chris Middleton did and took the shot and won.
Oh, okay. I actually didn't watch game one. I didn't really, so I haven't really paid much attention to that series, much like yourself. I actually bet on the Heat to beat the Bucks last year. But I'm down on the Heat this year. Milwaukee got a guy named Drew Holiday. That guy is really going to turn that team around because he's a point guard. Great leader, great ball distributor, and that's what they didn't have last year. They didn't have that go-to guy that can get Giannis shots. He has to make his own shots, and if he's not doing that, well, the Bucks aren't going to win. And then you're going to be able to cover.
Bucks.
You're rooting for the Bucks? Yeah,
Right.
I'm pulling for the Bucks this year too.
All right, why?
Because Giannis spells his name the exact same way that I do. So we have that instant connection. He spells his name, just with an S at the end, but it's the same way. Mine's Gianni. His is Giannis, spelled the same way. It's a little weird, but...
Do you want us to just start calling you Giannis? Would you prefer that?
Possibly. I was at the Jackson Park playing basketball. I've been going there very frequently.
That's all.
I've been going there very frequently playing basketball with Mitch's brother as well.
Well, you know what?
And someone there said, I swear to God, we were playing a 5-on-5 pickup basketball game. Some random person says oh, so Gianni like Giannis? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, you kind of look like him too. I'm like, okay. I don't see it, but I got called that I look like him, so I'm taking that.
If you guys in the ball pit out there are watching the video live on YouTube, or once it's posted on YouTube, go ahead and drop a comment if you think Gianni looks like Giannis. Maybe it's the lighting we see Gianni. I don't see it right now.
And actually, if we get 10,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel by August 1st of this year, Gianni will change his name to Giannis Antetokounmpo. So if you're out there, you want to see Gianni legally change his name to Giannis Antetokounmpo, please subscribe, like, comment, dislike even. We don't appreciate it, but if you want to dislike it, we're not going to hate you for your opinion.
We like honesty.
Yeah,
right?
we like honesty. So, like I said, give us a critique even.
Critique. Just like we're critiquing the Heat's play. Listen, it looks like it's going to go 3-0, but let's talk about who they're going to play. And let's spend less than a minute on this because we don't need to talk about this series a whole lot. The Nets are up 2-0. They have absolutely dismantled the Boston Celtics. Sam, is this
That's who the Bucks are going to play?
The Bucks would play the Brooklyn Nets.
That will be fun.
It will be fun because they have the one guy in the NBA, I believe, that can actually compete with KD when it comes to defense and offense in the same size and length.
Sure.
This isn't a series. This might be the most unwatchable series there is. Boston's dreadful. I don't know what has to happen.
Boston sucks.
They suck. Kemba Walker has been a disappointment. Jason Tatum, an absolute disappointment. I don't care what his numbers are. I don't care if he's averaging the most points in your team. This is where people need to realize there's more than just scoring baskets. Jason Tatum's a liability on defense right now. Jason Tatum does not get other people involved. And Brad Stevens should have taken that $70 million offer to go be the Indiana head coach because it looks like he's going to be unemployed here soon.
Yeah. It's got to be Brad Stevens at this point. I don't know what else it could be. I mean, it could be the players, but it really, I think it comes down to coaching with the Celtics, and I don't get it, but Stevens needs to go. But you hit it right on the nose. That's exactly what they are. They're dreadful. Right. The Nets look like maybe the greatest team ever assembled. I know people forgot because he was on Boston for a little bit. But Kyrie Irving is actually a master at what he does.
When he decides to play.
Right. I mean, when he decides to play, but I mean, the things that he can do at the rim, it's just like, it's so beautiful to watch. I really do miss him, and I really do hate him. But,
right on.
Yeah, I just have such strong disdain. I can't believe he left us. And, it does hurt. But he's a master at what he does.
He is.
Kevin Durant looks like, he's going to be able to recover from that Achilles, which is cool. And then they have James Harden.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if we have to talk about that series. I don't think
no.
we
I
can do
think
the
that's all
Nets.
we need to say. I'm not even going to ask Gianni because he's too busy getting ready to play the Brooklyn Nets next. Gianni is. So Gianni, just know that you're going to probably have to guard Kevin Durant. How do you feel about that?
You know, I don't know how I feel about that, but I did see a cool clip on Twitter, I believe, of the Brooklyn Nets. Some like behind the back pass, and
Probably
like
against
into like an
Cavs.
alley oop dunk.
Yeah, it was definitely against Cavs. Go figure.
That was a pretty sweet clip. I saw that on Twitter, so you know I'll give them that. But if they're going against my Jazz, you know they're going to go down. You know, so
Amen. All right, to the other side of the East now. 1 versus 8, guys. I really have not been high on Bradley Beal. He's not a top 15 player in the NBA. Russell Westbrook has made him better, and it's shown that Westbrook can be a leader of a team. It's taken pressure off Beal, I'll admit that. I really thought the Wizards could give the Sixers a series. Sixers are up 2-0 after 2 games. This one looks like it could be another 4-0 sweep. I will say I do think that this will be a gentleman's sweep. I think this goes to 5, and the Sixers win 4-1. And we'll touch on Russell Westbrook more and the incident that happened in Philly last night after we cover the next series. But Sam, do you have any hope for the Wizards right here, or is this going to end in 4 or 5?
I'm thinking it ends in 4. I think Philly really wants to close this out. They've been very abysmal. I guess for the past 2 or even 3 years in the playoffs. I don't know how old Embiid is. He's probably like 27, 26, but he's really starting to grow into himself. So I'm hoping he can stay healthy. He is a lot of fun to watch play. Ben Simmons I don't understand Ben Simmons. He's awesome. He gets 20 rebounds a game. He gets like 15 assists a game, and then he puts up 6 points. What's better than that?
Yeah.
That's old school. It's just.
I also think though that's why they're never going to win NBA Finals.
Yeah.
Until you get a point guard that can actually shoot consistently, the disrespect that teams have towards him to leave him as wide open as they do, he can't shoot.
Yeah, and it's that I guess they have Tobias Harris, but I don't think Harris is that guy that, he's not going to put you on his back and lead you with points. And if you can shut down Embiid, so they're definitely not primed for that. I mean, it's Brooklyn. It's Brooklyn out of the East. It's got to be.
Probably. By the way, Joel Embiid quickly, 27 years old.
Okay, yeah.
That's 7-footer out of Cameroon.
Yeah, actually, I'm pretty sure on this show I made my NBA out of the East prediction, the 76ers. I actually want to rescind that after the popcorn incident. My good friend Steve is the fan of the Sixers, and now I am no longer rooting for the 76ers in any way. What a absolutely disgusting act. Unbelievable.
Atrocity.
My mind is blanking on words to use. Just absolute disgust and hatred after that popcorn incident. So nothing but the worst for the 76ers. We'll save that. Let's go on to
Let's go on to what could be the most.
Finally,
it is the most interesting.
Some retribution for some listeners.
Yeah. So the Knicks in Atlanta. First off, the crowd in MSG has been electric. It has been so cool. I'm not a Knicks fan, but I do find myself rooting for them because I'm not saying they are. I kind of find the Knicks fans to be like Cleveland Browns fans. They have sucked for so long, and now in a year that you didn't know what to expect, like the Browns did in 2020, here are the Knicks, the 4 seed in the Eastern Conference. It's awesome to see. It's cool to see MSG packed and chanting. Knicks Hawks tied 1-1 going back to Game 3 in Atlanta.
Yeah, the Knicks are just a grinded out team, and that's very rare to see. Tom Thibodeau's awesome. Little Derrick Rose revival, which is sweet. But I'm a huge fan of the Atlanta Hawks. They're my East team. They're young, they're flashy, they're fast. And they've got a really, really good leader, someone who I think very, very highly of, Trae Young, and he doesn't give a fuck about what you think of him. A lot of guys, if you had that hair issue, right, that might affect you as a basketball player because you're too concerned about what people think of you or like what people see of you. Mm-hmm. And that's really, a statement more on life. A lot of people just like shell up. Myself, Mitch, I know you're like that as well. And Trae Young is just, if he is self-aware, he doesn't give a fuck. He's a great leader. He's gonna drop 30 points on you, 10 assists on you, like it's nothing. And he can lead that team past the Knicks. I don't know if they will. I think that's going to be a 7-game series.
I hope it is. It's just that they're in my opinion, two evenly matched teams. The Hawks explode on offense. The Knicks sound defensively under Tibbs. It's a lot of fun. I think it's also great to see Derrick Rose playing again. Gianni, what do you think about this series?
Being that what we got coming up with the Hawks here, I think I gotta root for the Hawks, right? So You know, if
We
we
got a lot
want to
of
start
Hawks
talking
fans
about
in the
that
pulpit.
now, you know, so we got something coming up here in the show that I'll let Mitch explain here.
I don't need to explain it. I'll own it. I was completely wrong. And if you don't know what I was completely wrong about, just go ahead and roll the tape, Gianni. This
All
is
right,
courtesy of
just to let
Sam.
you guys know, I'm gonna mute your guys' mics because we're gonna play the audio. It's a whole thing when we're trying to do this, so
We're
bear
learning.
with us here.
I'm not high on the Hawks either. I'm going to go under 36.5. I just don't see how you have that team above. Just going off names on the team, I'm taking Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal over Trae Young and that young team. I mean, the Hawks are young. That's easily a team that's up and coming, but they're not getting 36.5 wins. They're not going above. They're going 500. I was wrong. I even texted you the other night after Game 1 and Trae Young put on a show that I was wrong. I admitted it. I'm a man of character. Trae Young, you're a baller. That's all there is to it. I'm going to look directly into this camera right now and say, Trae Young, you're a baller who's balding, and it doesn't faze you at all. And for that, I commend you on your services through Games 1 and 2. I look forward to seeing what you bring to the NBA, and I was wrong, Sam. I apologize for ripping your comment earlier in our NBA preview show back in, I believe, November or December. Hawks are not quite title contenders, but the Hawks appear to be legit.
Yeah, I mean, they made the playoffs. They're young. You know, if you go over on the win total, I think that's a good year.
Yeah.
So I would say the Cleveland Cavaliers had a pretty successful year by half a game.
Stop it.
Pound the under, he says. So that's 2. So when next year rolls around and Mitch gives his advice on who he thinks will have a good year in the NBA, take the opposite. But that's a lot of retribution. There was a few people in the chat who were by my side. A few Hawks chants, Trae Young chants, Shane Kelly, Brandon Ranke, to name a few. So I was on the Hawks. You were on the Hawks.
We did play for the Hawks. Yep.
Led by Shane Kelly and Pat Kelly. Fantastic team. We came up short, just much like the Hawks will this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we put our hearts on the line. I was standing in the field, naked, opened arm, just calling for the Atlanta Hawks to have a successful year. I was very vulnerable, and what they did, they had my back. They came, they clothed me, and here they are playing in the New York Knicks. And I'll tell you what, if they can win 2 games in Atlanta, they're going to win that series. But the Knicks defensively are scary.
They are.
So is MSG.
It definitely is the most entertaining series left in the playoffs right now. So we'll wait to see that. But you're not out of the woods quite yet. We'll touch on your predictions you've had so far. We'll touch on that here later in the show. But let's keep it in the NBA. But let's talk about these fans, both good and bad.
Yep.
It's awesome to see playoff basketball back with fans. We were robbed of it last year because of the pandemic and being in a bubble. Knicks fans have gone crazy. It's awesome to see. Even Phoenix has gone a little bit crazy. Finally getting back in the playoffs after 10 years. Awesome to see. But there's some issues. And one of them would be throwing popcorn at players. Spitting on players is what a Knicks fan did to Trae Young last night. He has now been permanently banned for the rest of his life from Madison Square Garden. Sam, what do you make of this? Like, what kind of people... What does it say about the people that are throwing things at players as they leave the court?
Now, I heard the fans are getting no fans for the 76ers or Knicks. I don't know if that's for the rest of the series or what.
I did not see that.
Yeah, we'll have to check into that. Gianni, can you check into that? See if 76ers and Knicks can have fans for this series? But, the guy who threw popcorn, he should be thrown in jail for the rest of his life. That was...
I just don't understand what goes through people's minds.
That was appalling.
Yeah, like
popcorn.
That's a career ender.
I mean, what if he was allergic? I mean, that could have been attempted murder.
Was it buttered? Could he slip later after the popcorn?
Yeah. And does he have problems with cholesterol?
Oh my God, you didn't even think about that.
Unbelievable.
And is he allergic to was it cheddar popcorn?
Yeah.
Are you allergic to cheese?
Yes.
Dairy problems?
Right.
Like, my God. Like, what?
Right. Vegan. Was it vegan?
Just thinking about it right now, it's just driving me nuts, and I'm getting really angry.
Right.
I just feel...
Is Russell Westbrook in ketosis?
Oh, my gosh. Was he fasting?
Are
at
they
that time?
trying to get him out of ketosis? Yeah.
You know, if it was, it's smart.
Intermittent fasting.
Smart
That's
play,
what he's doing. He's intermittent
smart
fasting.
play by the
Yep.
Sixers fan if he's in intermittent fasting, but at the same time, really
Could be
good.
bigger than that. It could be organizational. Did they send this guy in
You're right.
to?
You're right. It could be.
So,
Yeah,
in my opinion, 76ers just removal from the league. Disband the organization. Ban Philly from ever having an NBA organization ever again.
all teams. teams.
But I actually, so we'll hit the Knicks. But so since we have the Malice and the Palace, I
Yes.
actually made a few names for these events.
Okay.
So why don't we'll hit the spitting. You know, the spitting I'm a little less upset about it than the popcorn, but it's still, I mean, another disgusting act.
To me, I mean, that's
Yeah.
first. I mean, I get, you know, we're out here, the popcorn, it's a little silly, but spitting to me, it's
Yeah,
a
that's
disgusting act for sure.
it's just the utmost disrespect
Yeah.
or respect. You could, you know,
Yeah, either way,
you
depends
get
on
your
take
blood
it.
brothers, or you know, you get stung by a jellyfish. You know, you got to be peed on. Yeah, it's good for
Yeah,
to pee on you.
yeah, exactly.
So it could be a sign of respect, but with this guy, I think he wasn't
No.
trying to show. Yeah,
That's
I
from
mean,
New York, and New York people are
well,
just kinda,
what I said earlier was like, who's surprised? Like,
Yeah,
is there
yeah, you're right.
anybody surprised that a New York Knicks fan
New
spit on
York
Trae Young?
or a Steelers fan or a Ravens fan like Cole Skelly. That's a total Cole Skelly.
Right, yeah,
Like,
I'm
he
like,
would do that 100%.
thank God that happened. A little normalcy back in this world. At least New York Knicks
Exactly.
fans were still spitting on people. And if that's happening, you know good things were happening around the world. It's like, okay, the world order is in line. So I'll tell you what I have. I didn't have much for the garden. I was looking up handy thesaurus. If you don't use a thesaurus, you need to use a thesaurus in your life. When you're writing papers, it just improves your vocabulary. You're going to sound smarter. If you use bigger words, people are going to listen to you. Try it out. It's true. And when someone is using big words around you, don't trust them. Do not trust that person. They're just trying to sound smart.
That's why I don't trust Sam.
Yeah. So what I have is a gripe in the garden. What do you think about that? Gripe
I
in
like
the
that
garden.
one. I like that one.
Mouse in the Palace. So I have a few for Wells Fargo. It's the
Okay.
Wells Fargo Center in Philly. I was trying to do a little Philly popcorn action, just wasn't working out. I got the Wells Fargo Fracas,
Ooh, I like
the Fargo Fuss,
that one. Okay.
Fisticuffs in Wells Fargo. That was more forced. But this is actually my personal favorite, Wells Fargo. It's banking. This is the Wells Fargo Exchange.
Oh. I think you know what, personally, and I'll let Gianni get his 2 cents in here. I think I'm going to go with number one of the Wells Fargo
The
one. You get.
Wells Fargo Fracas.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
it sounds funny.
It flows like Malice in the Palace does.
Yeah.
Wells Fargo Fracas flows just like that. That is my winner. Gianni, how do you feel about some of the names Sam was giving off?
You know, I love the names, but I was just going to give you an update on the fans thing.
Yes.
I
Oh,
looked
yes,
it up.
yes,
So
please.
it looks like the individual fans were banned.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and then specifically the popcorn on Russell Westbrook, the one guy had season tickets, and he got his season tickets revoked and is banned from the arena. So,
Maybe the fans aren't bad.
Well,
I don't think it's all the fans. I think
were.
it's-
Yeah.
I think they
Yeah.
banned. I think they banned individual, like the ones that were misbehaving.
correct,
they
correct.
banned. I don't
Yeah.
think
See,
they completely banned all of them.
This is perfect to go along with Sam was saying. He was right to a T, but we can't believe him because he started using these big words you got off of the source. See, you were trying
I
to
can't
fool
believe
us.
myself.
Yeah, it happens, dude. It happens. But guys, you know, as we're transitioning off the NBA, I thought about this, and there's been a lot of talk on Sports Talk today. Listen, it is disrespectful to do that to somebody because if you ever played a sport, you know you get the adrenaline pumping. If it's a big game like playoffs, and playoffs are a huge deal. Your adrenaline's pumping. Russell Westbrook looked like he wanted to go up there and seriously harm that man last night. And for those saying he's overreacting, you can say he is, but at the same time, you don't know what the adrenaline was
Yeah.
like.
And he's also had like a series of incidents with fans
correct.
leading up to this, and it's a big build up.
So,
Yeah, I thought like the fan that got banned for life in Philly was like, I mean, that's your own fan. Like he tossed popcorn. Like
it's not like batteries. Like, well, let's not forget when LeBron James came back as Miami Heat member in 2010.
Well, he
People were
deserved it.
throwing. I mean,
deserved it.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
but people were throwing
yeah.
battery. Like that can harm you.
Yeah.
Popcorn though, really, we just made up the most ridiculous excuses as to how that could hurt somebody.
right.
Like
And-
it's not.
Yeah.
It's disrespectful. Yes.
I get it.
Spitting
Yeah.
though, spitting to me is an ultimate sign of disrespect.
Yeah.
Like if you see guys in the NFL.
What I do agree with is just more protection for the players.
Yes,
like these
absolutely.
arenas do need to do something. It's just like, what can you do? It's like really, like it is only words. Like you're getting paid hundreds of thousands to watch this game. People paid to watch this, and they're not even making $100,000 this year, or maybe in the next 2 years. So, like, really, like, is it that big of a deal? Are you really that at risk? So, like, that's how I feel about it. I go back and forth, where it's like I side with the players and I see, but.
All right, well, before we move off this topic, I have a question. You're at a game, okay? This could be anybody we've seen during our lifetime. So, Sam, for you and I, 97 and on. Gianni, since you were born, I don't know if you're 2000, 01, 9/11, I don't care. All right? One player you could throw something at from the stands, and he comes into the stands to fight you, but you could beat him. Who is it? This is both of you. I'm posing this question to both of you. It could be anybody. It could be a bench warmer. It could be an all-star.
Just like I would beat him in a fight, or
you think you could beat
him?
Like okay, so this player gets ejected, walks the tunnel, you throw popcorn at him. He pulls a Ron Artest and comes into the stands. Who is the player that you could beat?
Sheesh.
This is complete. I did not let the guys know. People out there in the ball pit,
I got one.
They have no idea. Gianni, go ahead. I think Sam's still listening, or Sam's still thinking.
All right, if this guy's not in the league anymore, then
it's okay. Anybody during our lifetime, he can be out of the league now.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay, so I got it. Dellavedova. I think I could take him.
Dellavedova.
Yeah.
You think you get the Aussie dude? I don't know. He's like.
I think he'd kick the shit out of you. No way.
I think he's the best fight. I could put up the best fight against him.
He's double rocking Coronas, wearing a Hawaiian shirt after winning an NBA championship, and that's the guy you think you're gonna win in a fight against?
He's got grit.
I'm just saying.
He's gonna pick you up and drop kick you.
I am undefeated in garage boxing. I've had I think like 8 official fights in a garage. I've won them all.
Well, I guess
I'm just saying.
No, I gotta stop you right there. You're talking about Fight Club. Rule number 1 about Fight Club. You don't talk about Fight Club. So now you're.
Well, that was years ago.
But what you're missing is he's Australian. He's probably boxed kangaroos.
He's actually. I did a fun fact because I knew Gianni was going to go with that. I've actually been tapping in Gianni's stuff he does in his free time. Dellavedova, when he's not playing basketball, is actually part kangaroo. So yeah, you're in trouble.
Absolutely.
I mean, he could be pulling things out of that pouch and popping you right in the face, right jab, left jab, jump kick, boom, you're gone. Like he's kicking your ass. So I like the pick. I just think it might be a little.
I just think I'm gonna get my ass kicked even more to someone who's significantly taller.
Oh, see, I already got mine. I thought about this all day, and I think Sam will like it. But Sam, you're up. Who you fighting that you could beat?
I got Jose Fernandez in this one. He used to pitch for the Miami Marlins, but he died. I would totally kick a dead guy's ass. No contest. I don't know if they recovered the body or what. But if you hear this, Jose Fernandez, why don't you try to come fight me? Because I'd totally beat your ass. I was trying to think of a serious answer, but I don't know. From guys I've seen, I've seen so many people. Mike Moustakas is a guy I used to chirp back when the Indians had 2,000 fans, and I would be one of them. That was actually probably one of my favorite, I guess, cycles of life is for a consistent year, going to tribe games for $5 and being one of 10,000 there. When the team wasn't that much fun to watch because you could chirp players. So let's go maybe like Torrey Hunter, Justin Verlander.
Did you see the Verlander picks?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You did see the Verlander picks.
So
good picks.
I'll go Jose Fernandez or Jose Altuve. Either Jose.
Oh my God, I don't know what I.
See, I would probably pick a baseball player, but I don't know many baseball players. So.
Guys, there's just so many of them.
This is an easy answer. I'm taking Greg Oden. I put a finger on him. He's breaking. He's glass. He's glass. You put a finger on him. He's down. Yeah, I mean, Greg Oden will throw pop. Greg Oden would actually probably not even make it in the stands if I threw popcorn at him. That's the type of player the NBA needs to protect. You throw popcorn at Greg Oden, he's down. He's not getting up. I mean, we watched that man made of glass. He wouldn't even make it in the stands. He'd probably, stub his toe. He's down. Surgery required. Greg Oden's my pick.
So according to that logic, are you saying that you could beat LeBron in a fight if you just poke him in the eye?
Well, here's the thing. LeBron is just a very good actor, right? We know he's a good actor. Greg Oden here is just made of glass. And that's, I mean, the man, I think, I want to say the most games he ever played in the season was like 18. He played 82 in a regular season. Greg Oden, 100% is the type of guy I would fight.
Think you could take Tom Brady in a fight?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. It's not even, is his defense involved or not?
No, just Tom.
Yes, then absolutely. Because if his defense isn't involved, he's not a very good player at all. And I would beat him in a fight regardless. Because anytime he has defense involved, He's great, absolutely, but his defense is the reason he's so great. So let's just drop it there and move on. And while we move on, before we make it to the next topic, guys, Sam, I wanted to do a quick update from episode 51 and update everybody on Yerman G-Wagon. You know, last episode we touched on is Yerman Mercedes, a.k.a. the G-Wagon, as you called him, which is a phenomenal nickname. We saw him swing a 3-0 pitch, go yard. He has since been just okay. Still hitting 335, 6 home runs, 26 RBIs, OPS of 890. Yerman G-Wagon is still very much alive and well after a lot of controversy, and the Chicago White Sox are still in first place in the AL Central.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I should probably listen to myself more on these futures. As you know, a couple weeks ago, I predicted the Chicago White Sox to win the World Series. They're looking like they're probably going to win the World Series. They're young, they're hungry, and they're surprising. I don't know. Sammy futures, who knows? I think they're plus 800. I actually, from my notes last week, the White Sox were plus 800 to win the World Series. I forget. But take that, nail it, buy a new house. It's funny you brought up athletes you win in a fight, because I was thinking about earlier just people you think you fight one-on-one. We could save that for the future too, but I have a couple other ones too.
Well, I think we got to save that. I mean, I think you and I have talked about doing an actual live episode for everybody out in the ball pit, and we would tweet that out what time it would be on. For people to hop in the comment section, and us, Sam and I, doing drafts of just different types of events, of athletes we would take, people we'd take, celebrities, like worst female celebrities, best male celebrities, people you'd want to date your daughter potentially, best facial hair in sports. I mean, just so many options here.
I've got old names that should be brought back.
Yes, absolutely.
Cheesiest slash most generic pet names, which would be a great one to get a lot of people. Like
Buckeye. As a dog.
Smokey.
Yeah, Buckeye as a dog is the most generic. People in Ohio just get it.
Baker.
What about Baker?
I mean, I think a million people named their dog Baker after his rookie season. And then I think 500,000 of them changed their dog's name after Baker's second season.
But are they changing him back after his third season? Or is
Probably. It could be Kevin.
Oh, okay. Kevin. All right. I mean, my kids' names, regardless of gender, when I get to that point, are LeBron James and Baker Mayfield. That's already been decided. So if my future wife is out there watching this right now, you better be okay with those names, Baker and LeBron. They're very near and dear to my heart.
Booby Bala. I mean, that may be the most electric name in sports.
It actually might be Booby Bala. And Booby Gibson did have a phenomenal Game 6 in 2007 to the Pistons run. Hold on, I'm going to write that one down. Honey, hope you're okay with having...
People forget, Booby Gibson was like a borderline all-star. He may have even made the all-star game. I think that was Mo Williams, though.
Yeah, it was. He made the three-point contest, though.
Yeah, so
Booby Gibson, phenomenal couple years in Cleveland. Guys, let's move on. We got two more things I want to touch on quickly. And we're gonna make it fun before we talk about another sports thing. Man cards. Man cards. Like, there's certain things out there that I believe that revoke your man card or really questions your masculinity. And guys, I saw one the other day, and immediately I told you guys today when we were getting ready for the show, I'm like, guys, I'm going to ask you about man cards. Saw a guy the other day, I believe I was on Everhard Road in Belden Village, and I just immediately wanted to get out of my car and slap him senseless because I wanted to reach into his wallet and take his belongings and take his man card. Because to me, if you're a guy on a motorcycle and you're not driving the motorcycle and instead you're sitting behind your wife or girlfriend holding onto their waist on the motorcycle, you immediately lose your man card. Immediately. That's just one of the top probably 5 man card removals. If you're going to ride bitch in a motorcycle while hanging on, I'm not going to say hang on to a bitch because
I don't know if that's I don't hate that move.
I do.
It also depends. Is that your wife?
Well, but here's the other part.
I mean,
he was being safe, but at the same time, she didn't have a helmet on, but he did. So it's almost like what's going on here? Make it make sense. It's like, come on, get on the same page. Like, who's for safety and who's not? But at the same time, guys, to me, that's just an ultimate. You got to
give the helmet to the woman in that situation, which would be a beta move. So
and then it's also, are you saying she's not a good driver? Like, then the disrespect
could be.
So it's just so many questions are going through my head immediately. If you're watching this right now or listening to us, and you were on a motorcycle the other day in Everhard in Belden Village, and you were sitting behind your wife holding onto her waist, you've lost your man card. To turn it in, please go to the Jackson Township Police Department immediately, and a reward will be given. That reward is you'll be bitch slapped. So Gianni,
For charity.
what is something that you lose your man card for?
Man, I'm trying to think. I think, I was at the gym. Always working out.
He's always in the gym.
I've been on that grind.
He's probably going to the gym after this episode.
Potentially. So I was at the gym, and what looked to be a couple at the gym, and they were over at the squat rack. And I was on the bench, and it was between sets, so I'm just sitting up, just kind of scanning the area. And it's a girl and a guy, and the girl's squatting, right? And she's she was squatting like pretty good weight,
Hefty.
pretty good form. She was squatting probably like a plate and a 25, right? She gets done. I see her go over to take off some of the weights. She takes off some of the weights. She takes off 2 of the plates, puts on a 25, and then her significant other guy steps in and does the 25.
Sheesh.
Oh man.
I mean, that's a shame.
That's a shame.
And first of all, kudos to the girl. That's just an alpha move.
Yeah.
I
like myself a strong woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But man, that's a tough one. That's hard to come back from.
Yeah, I mean, good for the guy. I guess for getting in the gym. I don't want to gym shame here.
Absolutely.
But I feel like just going to the gym with your girlfriend, that's an automatic removal. I mean, go live for the bros.
I'm here. I get what you're saying, but like, if you go to the gym with your girlfriend, you at least gotta like push more weight than her. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can't be going there and lifting that weight, because then all of a sudden the question is,
it's a weird couple.
Who's got the pants on the relationship? Same thing with the motorcycle. Who was wearing the pants in that relationship?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you see gym people; they usually attract to each other. So I feel like he's not a gym guy. That's a little weird to me.
Yeah.
I got something else.
Oh, okay.
Just came to my mind, by the way, and I'm still kind of heated about it. And I'm calling someone out.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Personal.
Oh boy.
Good.
Personal.
I'm calling out Matt Hicks.
Oh boy.
You might not know who he is.
Oh, I know who Matt Hicks is.
He knows who Matt Hicks is.
I hate him.
Me and Matt started grinding at the gym together. We were grinding. He made up a workout plan for me. Still using it, but we were grinding, whatever. Matt's girlfriend said he wanted to start working out. So then Matt started going at night, going with her, and then still going with me during the day. Well, that faded. And now your boy goes to the gym by himself with his AirPods in and grinds through that workout. Still grinding. Matt, I'm not mad. I'm just, if you're listening, I'm just a little disappointed. Yeah. I'm just a little disappointed, and I've cried about it some nights.
Hey, sad boy hours.
That's that's just quite a young man move. It's a mistake. That's why you'd call it a young man move.
Yeah, I agree.
To leave your boy to go work out with your girlfriend. Matt, you're getting lazy. That's what that is. You're getting lazy. Gianni was pushing you too hard. So he said, let me go work out with my girlfriend. I can't handle this.
Matt,
no more 2-a-days for me. So, Matt, good for you. I'm glad you're getting in the gym with no man card. So, you've got a gym card, no man card.
No man card, absolutely.
We'll get an update on Matt. Maybe he'll make the switch back after seeing this. I hope so. If you're Matt's girlfriend, I mean, you got to, find a gym gal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe find a gym bro. See if Matt's maybe a little jealous, test the waters of the relationship. You're young, so, why keep it monogamous? Why not, maybe Matt's open to it, an open relationship. So we'll have to see what Matt's all about. We'll try to get Matt back in the gym with Gianni. So that's...
I'll update everyone.
We'll come to my, obviously, solo, in the car, wearing a mask. That's just a move I don't understand.
Gosh.
I've never understood that move. It's like, do you understand how germs work? Do you understand how life works? What's, I guess sometimes, early on I'd forget it. I'm just masking in the car, but I'd eventually take it off. But I've seen a few people masking it and then they're texting and driving. It's like, I don't, it's like, why don't you get real for a moment?
Yeah, no, that's a great one. That is,
Yeah.
I had my mask rant on a previous episode.
What
of Cover
about
Your Balls.
I think maybe man card is going to get just canceled.
You know what? Honestly,
We're getting to that
all
point.
three of us are probably going to get canceled for this because we said man card, not gender neutral card.
Yeah.
And you know that happens. And if we offended you out there, I'm not going to apologize. I'm
Yeah.
not, because I'm not soft like this generation is. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up. Though,
You know, a lot of people have been taking, you're either happy or mad about something, and let's destroy that binary.
Yeah.
A lot of emotions. A big emotion is just not caring.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people need to learn that emotion. Who cares? You know, I don't really care what you believe, but I'll support you as long as it's in, I guess, good measure. But we're on a floating rock in the middle of space. So really, if you're offended by something, grow up, find a hobby, get something to do an activity. I'm gonna be a big activity guy as I grow in age. I need things to do, whether it's like playing cornhole, just shooting hoops, something to occupy my day. Because I'll sit around and do nothing, and that's what too many people are doing.
Yep.
Sitting around, tweeting, getting upset about things. Like, go get upset about yourself. Look in the mirror. I don't know, but
It's, you know,
yeah.
bravo. You said that perfectly. Bravo. Round of applause. And I don't want to clap too loud next to the mic, but round of applause for that. I completely agree. I'd love to hear other people's man
Well,
card.
who do you think should lose their man card? Israel or Palestine?
Wow. It's a tough one. That is a tough one. Thinking about it,
I don't know. Probably.
you know what? I'm not educated enough to
Yeah.
talk about it. And that's what I'm going
Me
to do.
neither.
I'm going to
Yeah.
admit I'm not educated enough. And I'm going to come back
See
to
what I
the
did
next
to you is
episode.
I trapped
yeah,
you.
you trapped
Yeah.
me. But I
That's
was
why I
smart
said-
enough. See, before speaking, I thought about it. Most people nowadays don't think before they talk, and that's a problem.
Yep,
I
too
thought about it,
reactionary.
and I'm going to come back to you on the next episode of Cover Your Balls to let you know who loses the man card, Palestine or Israel. But,
Or both.
or both.
Yeah.
Both. But who loses it first? Someone's got to lose it first. Somebody, you know what?
A lot of people losing their lives, and you're making a joke about it, so I don't really get
Says
what's so
the man,
funny.
says the man that would pick Jose Fernandez to fight, a dead man.
I mean, that's just an obvious, I'm not shaming him, but what I'm saying is, yeah, I would beat his ass. There would be a 0% chance, an absolute 0% chance he wins. I'll pin him. Pin him the first 2 seconds. I mean, that's just who am I going to beat in a fight? If you're asking me that question, I got to answer honestly. And what you're doing here is a lot of people are dying. You're like, oh, let's bring up man card, and then I'm going to make fun of Israel and Palestine. Kids are dying.
I never said they weren't. I was not trying to make a joke of this. You have completely misinterpreted my words. You assumed before asking. That's another issue we have in the world. So before this gets out of hand anymore, let's move on to our last topic before we tell everybody who has bigger balls. And it's jinxes, guys. I'll give you a story about why I want to bring this to light today. It's going to be a quick little segment here. And then we're also going to touch on Sam and why Sam needs to be brought into this conversation. But today, Indians had a day game with the Tigers. Shane Bieber, the ace, defending Cy Young Award winner, probably top 3 Cy Young Award candidate right now in the majors. First 200 Ks this year. That's neither here nor there. 6 innings, no hit ball versus the Tigers. I'm very aware of this. I'm a somewhat superstitious guy. When it comes to baseball, there's a few unwritten rules that have nothing to do with playing the game, like swinging a 3-0 pitch. Like, get rid of that rule. It's jinxes. And for everybody that says, oh, they're not real, I had 2 people text me right when I was getting into the car to turn the radio on. I was keeping track of it on my phone. 2 people text me. Shane Bieber with the eye emojis. Yes, I am going to throw your name out there, Brandon Ranke. I am going to. Because Tyler Dalzell, no, you should jinx him too. Mitch Farnsworth. Trying to act subliminal, but you weren't subliminal enough. Because I know what you were talking about when you texted me. It wasn't just out of the blue. Like, everybody that was an Indians fan knew what was going on. And then freaking Tom Hamilton. Tom Hamilton, I get in the car, turn to 1100 a.m. Because 1480, kind of glitchy down here in Canton. Tom Hamilton comes right back from break, and here's Shane Bieber, 6 innings, 3 walks, 9 Ks, has not allowed a hit yet. I was like, ooh, Tommy. They're like, Tom, you better watch yourself. Pauses, gives a quick ad run, probably about something like Bosco sticks or something, just then back. And so now come back out for the 7th inning, and Shane Bieber still is not allowed a hit yet. I'm like, oh, Tom's doubling down here. Here comes Jonathan Scope. And, all the batters at Bieber's face today have not hit the ball hard. There's a drive to deep left, and there goes the no-hitter before I could say about how no ball has been hit off Shane Bieber hard. Tom Hamilton wanted that no-hitter to be broken because as soon as it was over, first thing I hear is, And Len Barker remains the last Indians pitcher to throw a no-hitter, a perfect game. Like, I can't escape that man, by the way. 40 years now, the Indians have the longest World Series drought and now the longest perfect game no-hitter drought. All I want, I don't care who throws it. I really don't give a shit who throws the no-hitter. You can bring back Bob Wickman. You can bring back somebody I've said I was never a fan of. Just throw no-hitter already. Paul Bird was electric, by the way. You were.
He's got his own book.
Yeah, you were. Did you read it?
I've seen it. I haven't. I mean, that's not worth the read.
Oh, okay. You're right. You're
maybe
right.
it is. I don't know.
All right.
Paul Bird, you want to come on the show, defend your name?
Yeah, absolutely. Paul Bird, yes, Cleveland Indian, great legend. But listen, I don't know how much more obvious it needed to be that there was jinxing going on between Brandon Ranke, Mitch Farnsworth, Tom Hamilton.
I actually got a text from T.J. Withers after 4.
T.J. Withers, the son of Tom Withers of the AP. Unbelievable.
Yep, sent a message in the group about
this is ridiculous.
Through 4.
This is just asinine. And the only reason I bring this up is because, one, I want to know if you guys believe in announcer jinxes. But Sam, you yourself recently jinxed the Hurricanes in the NHL. So Hurricane fans out there in the ball
Panthers.
Panthers, I'm
territory.
Sorry. They're playing the Hurricanes?
Well,
they did.
Well, we played the Lightning.
I'm not an NHL guy. I'm not going to act like I am. Either way, you jinxed the Panthers. You told me and everybody in our one group chat called the boys. Shout out to the boys out there. I hope you're enjoying episode 52. Sergei Bobrovsky was going to lead the Panthers to a series win. He was the man. He was going to stop every shot on him. Sam, how did Sergei Bobrovsky do?
So that series ended up being pretty high scoring. Bobrovsky, to my knowledge, he got benched game 2, game 3. I don't know if he was in goal again. I think the series ended up 4-2.
Was it because he stopped so many goals it was unfair, or he was letting them all go
He didn't play too well, unfortunately. Playoff Bob, as I like to call him, he once swept Tampa Bay Lightning with the Columbus Blue Jackets. Myself, I'm not a big hockey guy, but I try to get into hockey every single year around playoff time, because if you don't watch playoff hockey, you absolutely should. It's so intense. It's really quite beautiful. Close your eyes, let the announcer paint the picture for you. That is hockey. I'm really falling in love with the sport. I'm actually thinking about, wherever I end up, maybe I'll buy season tickets. Maybe I'll be a hockey guy with a hockey jersey over the dress shirt. That's a great move.
Just to let you know, Bobrovsky in game 1 allowed 5 goals.
Yes,
In game 3, he allowed 5 more. So in 2 games, because he was benched game 2, Bobrovsky allowed 10 goals.
Okay.
That I'm not a hockey fan, but I do know that's not good. So one, would you like to apologize to the Panther Nation out there?
Yeah.
And also to Bobrovsky, because not only did you say he was going to do good, you then made him your Twitter AV.
Yeah, you know what? I was trying to defend the territory. I was all in on the Florida Panthers. They're the lowest market team in the NHL. It was a battle of Florida. And I was getting excited. I'm a Bobrovsky fan. I almost bought a jersey. Here we did. I didn't defend the territory. I don't know if the territory will accept me back. I'm moving on. I'm now picking a new team. We may have a team from Canada in the Stanley Cup Finals this year. Absolutely in the semis. They're going to be either playing the Avalanche or the Wild or Vegas. And we have the Islanders versus the Bruins in the other side of the bracket. And they'll play somebody. I think it's the Hurricanes and the Lightning. So I don't know. Not a big hockey guy. We're not good at hockey talk. But I think I'm going to ride with Canada this year. I'm going to be singing "Oh Canada" next episode, live, in action. Got to learn the song, but I'm either going to ride with the Leafs or, I don't know, the Winnipeg Jets. So that's talking hockey. My apologies to the territory. I hope you'll have me back. I don't know if I'll come back. That wasn't very fun to watch. You put up a lot of points, but the defense was horrific. Look what you made me do.
Sathoris.
Yeah. Well, that's all. Yeah.
Gianni, are you a big fan in jinxes, whether it's announcer jinxes or Sam out here doubling down on Sergei Bobrovsky?
Absolutely.
You do believe in jinxes?
You see it 30 times in the NFL with kickers.
That is true.
Every field
Unless
goal.
It's Justin Tucker. Justin Tucker's the only one that's out.
Every field goal, it's this guy's made 30 field goals in a row, never missed. Next guy misses the field goal, shanked.
Yeah, it
happens all the time.
I think there's like something to the announcer jinx, but like all they're doing is like pointing out the obvious. Like it's, probably a million times more likely that Shane Bieber gets hit. By the way, Shane Bieber had I think, like 60 pitchers after the 4th. So he's not getting there. They need to have 3 starters. They have 3 starters.
That's for a whole
They're
nother
not.
show.
It would have been a team, no hitter if that. And so they're still going to say Lynn Barker because he's the last individual. So I hate to say it, but today wasn't your shot. So I feel like I believe, okay, this is likely to happen. People predict like obvious things. Like, so I think there's something to the announcer jinx, but it's just like, all right, it's going to happen at some point.
I just hate the fact that it always happens after they say, this so-and-so.
Yeah.
Here's Baker Mayfield. Hasn't thrown an interception his last 68 passes and then picked off. It's like, why'd you have to say it, man?
Some announcers are definitely more cognizant of it than others. But
I just look.
If I was an announcer, that's my goal. I'm looking at, okay, what could I jinx during this broadcast? And every chance I get, I'm jinxing it. I don't know. I feel like that would be a ton of fun.
I'm going to make that my goal, as a broadcaster from here on out. But I just expect better from Tom Hamilton. That's all. I was just a little pissed at Tom. And looking back on it now, is a no-hitter that important? Indians no-hitter, it actually is. It really is, because I'm just tired. I just want the history broken already. So yes, it really is that big of a deal. Okay, so just it is. But at the same time, the Indians got the win. Beat the Tigers 5-2 today. Took 3 of 4.
Yep.
They're coming home to host the team from Canada, but they actually reside in Tampa Bay this year.
Buffalo.
Blue Jays. Tampa.
Buffalo. They're coming starting June 2nd, I think.
What on earth is going on?
In
Blue
Buffalo,
Man, I don't know where the Blue Jays are from anymore.
Well, Buffalo's right. So
I know.
Yeah.
They're playing in Tampa. Like, all I know is I've seen a lot of Blue Jays in Ohio right now. It's probably a sign with Blue Jays this week. Yep.
Migrating.
Yep.
Northeast.
Bet the Blue Jays against the Tribe this week. But guys, that's some of the topics we had today. But for the first time since we have transitioned the show over to the new producer and new host, Gianni, you know what time it is.
Who has bigger balls?
Who has bigger balls is right. Sam claims he has an undefeated candidate. I want Sam to go because if it's that great, I'm not even going to name my candidate. So Sam, please tell me, who has bigger balls?
Johnny, did you get the picture for the stream for my candidate or no? If so, don't show her yet.
No, I did not.
It's okay. So for those of you at home, just take a second, close your eyes, and just picture this woman, and then look her up after you picture her. So this is Christine Lewis Brown of Greensback, Virginia, 36 years old. I would say, I guess, very noble of her. Did a little protest, if you will. She drove her SUV into a vaccine site. I think she hit about 7 people. This was, by the way, protesting the vaccine. And while she was doing this, while she was running over these people, she was yelling out the window, "No vaccine." So shout out to Christine Lewis Brown for getting her point across. There's absolutely nothing wrong with our education system here in America. I think the federal government should continue to control the education systems. Are doing so well. Our people are doing so well. Christine Lewis Brown, how can I be an active citizen? How can I be a good role model to this country? How can I do my part? Ask not what you or what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Christine Lewis Brown drives her car into a vaccine site, saving millions of people. Give her the Purple Heart. Make her the leader of the country. I mean, this woman gets down to business.
I'm not even naming the candidate. Christine Lewis Brown's undefeated. Christine Lewis Brown has bigger balls. Listen, I had a Florida person because, those people in Florida are just crazy. I'm not putting this up for debate. I just would like to name what my man Otis Dwayne Ryan did.
There she is.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Show it to the camera. Let's see if it will focus.
Up here.
Fuck. Exactly what she thinks she looks like. Oh fuck.
Pull back.
There it is. Yeah, there we go.
Christine Lewis Brown. Okay, all right.
There's a tear running down her face. So I don't know.
Oh my God. My candidate, who is no longer a candidate, already officially just getting a participation ribbon by me reading him off. Otis Dwayne Ryan, 30-year-old man of Florida, climbed to the top of the playground equipment at a park in Clearwater on Sunday and began shouting at children, telling them where babies came from and pointing to the body parts in which babies came from and are made. So actually, shout out to Otis Dwayne Ryan for educating the younger generation. Another person taking it upon
That's the
themselves.
education system we need, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I honestly, I might have to side with Otis because I think there's just like a lot of things that we're trying to keep secret from our children. It's like, for what reason?
For this, I would like to mark able to be suitable for kids. I can't actually say what he yelled.
He then yelled, "They come out of their pussies," the officer wrote in the arrest affidavit.
At the time, the parents were rushing to get their children away from Otis, Dwayne Ryan, 30-year-old man in Clearwater, Florida.
Honestly, if I'm a parent, I'm going to go, like, obviously I'm rushing up to my child because there's a wacko. But I'm going to then be like, okay, that's, watch and learn. This person is, either this is why you don't do hard drugs. This is why you should not spend so much time on the internet. This is why you should make some friends,
Not go to Florida.
Relationship.
Florida's a bad place.
This is why we should teach social skills inside of schools. But again, there's nothing wrong with our children. There's nothing wrong in the United States or with, anything. It's like, what do we all do? What do we all go through? Like, how can we, there's a school. I don't know what the problem is. I think it's obvious, but maybe not. Another mass shooting today. So we're doing fine here in the United States. Again, I'm not really like a political person. I don't really care, but it's like maybe we should make a change, maybe do something. But anyways, thank you, Christine Lewis Brown. No vaccine.
Before we end, were those 7 people okay? Like, were they?
I don't know. I
just realized we got no update.
I was on the stationary bike. Again, like, it's the shame of it. It's like you never really. I think most of them are okay. They could have died. I don't know.
I want to live with the mystery of what happened.
Yeah.
You see those videos online where you're like,
update,
ooh, did that person just die? You see like a video of someone doing something stupid on
Paul
a video.
Revere, Abe Lincoln, George Washington, Betsy Ross, Christine Lewis Brown.
Jose Fernandez.
She's in the history books.
Mount Rushmore?
She's in the history books.
Mount Rushmore?
Yeah.
Hey, listen.
Yeah, after we blow up Mount Rushmore, let's just replace it with a Christine Lewis Brown statue because this woman saving lives.
Well, that is the conclusion of episode 52 of Cover Your Balls. We appreciate you making it this far with us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, tweet at us. Have some fun with us out there in the ball pit. And for episode 52 of Cover Your Balls and Christine Lewis, I'm Mitch Balla.
I'm Sam Summers.
I'm Gianni.
And we will see you guys next time for episode 53 of CYB.
No vaccine.
Deuces.